Welcome to Sunday Morning Live with Football Guys. As you can see, I am not Joey Wright. He is sick today, so thoughts and prayers to whatever die slow sickness he has. We're thinking the flu. We're ruling him out for today. But with me, as always, is Jeff Bell, and we got Adam much longer today because apparently you guys really like that dude, or you at least haven't complained enough to get him gone. We'll get him next week, guys. Um, but we'll hop right into some injury news uh, first, since we got Adam here. Expected to be out or are ruled out. Malik Neighbors, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Rashi Rice, Joe Mixon, Khalil Shakir, Romeo Dubs, Michael Mayer, Zamir White, Jalen Warren. That's a bloodbath, fellas. Malik Neighbors, Jonathan Taylor, like right there. Like that's like top five guys are out. And now we got Shakir and Dubs. Jeff, anything stick out to you? Like, do you think it's like Wandale Robinson Day because of that target share with him being out?
I guess I see some people say that I would want Wandale Robinson, and to me, I want nothing to do with the New York Giants because I believe that Malik Neighbors was making their offense go, and I think that you're seeing a good matchup here with Seattle, where Devin Witherspoon's one of the best cover corners in the slot. I think he's going to be able to cover Wandale Robinson pretty well, and that's you're basically looking at Seattle's defensive strength with maybe the one thing that the Giants can do. For me, it's a complete stay away, but I understand with what we're looking at relative to lineups and the situation buys injuries, you have to put him in your lineup because that potential is there. For me, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the um, Trey Sermon for the Colts as well behind Jonathan Taylor. Like this feels like this week it's a trap. It's a trap. Like you should play your guys who are already starters and good before that. Adam, Rashi Rice is getting more testing done. Do you have any optimism that he's going to return this year? Should we stash him on IR or should we just kind of release him into the wild and call it a wash?
Unfortunately, I'm leaning more towards the latter. I mean, we don't have definitive word on exactly what the injury is. There's a lot of speculation out there. I've speculated a little bit. I mean, reading between the lines, it sounds like at the very least he has a partial ACL tear or sprain. That's going to require a decent amount of time, extended time from just the what's required of an IR stint. I'm okay holding on to him one more week until we get definitive evidence. I think he maybe could come back this year, but it might not be for fantasy relevance. You know, it might be late season push. Maybe if Kansas City's in the playoffs, Rashi Rice tries to give it a go, but it's not looking good. And with injuries piling up, I mean, you just outlined like 10 or 11 injuries to start off the show. That's not even naming guys that have been on IR earlier this season. I understand if you got to let Rashi Rice go.
Yeah. Questionable. We have Trey McBride, Chris Olave, and George Kittle. The Trey McBride thing, he was fine, and now he's not fine. Do you have anything on that, Adam?
So he was dealing with a concussion. He got cleared for the concussion, and he was a late addition to the injury report with a rib injury. I mean, I'm going to get deep down in the weeds here. You know, looking at tight ends returning from rib injuries for whatever reason, it can be pretty limiting for them. On average, they see about a 40% decrease in their fantasy production. Tight end landscape's ugly. Like, you're probably playing him. You know, on Football Guys, we kind of have the big five at the tight end position listed as Travis Kelce, Jake Ferguson, Brock Bowers, Dalton Kincaid, and George Kittle. I'm playing all those guys over Trey McBride. In terms of average fantasy production this season, I could be talked into Pat Fryermuth or Cole Kmet over Trey McBride, but that's about it. Like, and it's unlikely that you have all those tight ends or any of those tight end options if you drafted Trey McBride high. So you're kind of stuck, and you're probably playing him this week.
Any worries about Chris Olave or George Kittle?
I don't have any worries about Chris Olave. George Kittle was another one with a rib injury. You know, some of these guys with these veterans, they give them a veteran rest day and they slap an injury label on them. Both of them sound like they're going to play. They're just questionable by the team label, but they're probably more probable to play this week.
Sweet. I love to hear it. And expected to play David Njoku. That's going to be a big help back. Alvin Kamara is fine. Odell Beckham Jr., I'm skeptical of putting him in my lineup because he's a Dolphin, let alone all the other reasons I'm skeptical of putting him in my lineup. Deontay Johnson and then Austin Eckler. I know Brian Robinson Jr. ended up on the injury report there for a little bit. So I don't know if that means, like, you think that means more for Eckler going forward, a couple more touches.
Yeah. Again, talking about sample size, running backs coming off of knee injuries, we see about an average decrease in fantasy production about 18%. That's not substantial for Brian Robinson, who is averaging around 16 PPR points. It probably puts him closer, if we bake in that average, around 13 PPR points. The biggest thing is, like you touched on lately, like injury seeds opportunity to other players. It's part of the reason
Mhm.
that Octavian Wicks has become a thing, is because Christian Watson missed such a large chunk of the season last year. He's able to put good film out there, and produce. And now there you see a team more willing to pivot to him. So I think when we're talking about the decrease in fantasy production, might not necessarily be due to the knee injury, but more touches for Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler cleared the concussion protocol this week. He's going to play. So I think Austin Eckler's a sneaky flex play, could definitely eat into Brian Robinson's workload.
Yep. We're not expected to play Anthony Richardson, Taysom Hill, Evan Ingram. I don't know when he's going to play football again. Christian Watson, Devin Singletary, and Damian Pierce. Christian Watson being out too. The one that's not a trap, and Adam, you brought this up. Dontavian Wicks should be in your lineups. That's someone who's produced every time he's been on the field, and I am trying to find a way to get him into my lineups wherever I can. Joe Flacco being in is good things for Michael Pittman and Josh Downs. Still same thing. Colts wide receivers are back on the menu. And again, the last 30 minutes we'll circle back. I got Adam playing Adam Schefter today, or Ian Rappaport. So he's going to be on Twitter breaking more and more injury news for us. But we're going to get right back into those start sits. First one, we have Scott Betts. Good morning, guys. I need two of these three: Xavier Worthy, Cortland Sutton, and Josh Jacobs. I think you know the answer to that, but Jeff, let him know.
Yeah, it's going to be Josh Jacobs for me. I think that's a plus matchup, and not obviously you talk about the injuries with the Packers wide receivers, sets up well for Jacobs, and then Xavier Worthy. I think I'm playing Xavier Worthy. I mean, I think that's going to be potential shootout matchup. Maybe, I don't know. No Chiefs games turned in shootouts anymore, but with the Saints, what we saw from their offense the first couple of weeks, I mean, Worthy is a piece that I want to put in my lineup until I see without Rashee Rice that you definitely don't want Worthy in your lineup.
Yeah. There's the Chiefs are all gone. They're suffering right now from injury, so he is the guy, and he is a first round talent. Q School. I wonder what we learned there. Good morning, football guys. Full PPR. Need two. Jordan Whittington, Cortland Sutton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Tyrone Tracy, Xavier Legette. Adam, you pick two, and then I'll kick this back to Jeff.
I'm gonna take Jordan Whittington. He earned a healthy target share last week. He seems like he's going to be one of Matthew Stafford's main targets. And then we'll probably have a debate about this. Like, I don't think the ceiling's particularly high for Wan'Dale Robinson, but you saw so many targets even when Malik Neighbors was healthy. You know, we talk about somebody like Najee Harris being ugly volume. Like, I think Wan'Dale Robinson could be ugly volume, and I'm okay playing him.
Yep. What about you, Jeff?
In full PPR, those players are probably where I lean. I know Tyrone Tracy, I think, is tough not to put into your lineup if with Singletary out this week, because he should be the lead back there. And I do think he's going to see heavy involvement in the passing game. Relative to, I mean, Xavier Legette, I think I would put him in, but I'm concerned about the wind there in Chicago, kind of maybe changing that game plan a little bit for the Panthers. I can see. I'm not going to hate playing Whittington or Wan'Dale Robinson. Really, this is just this this question right here sums up Week 5 perfectly. Like, this is a Week 5 question.
Oh yeah,
I should be obligated to pick Tyrone Tracy with that Purdue helmet there, because Purdue football has been so terrible. I don't know. I mean, you guys can talk about it too. Like, we've gotten burned by a couple of these rookies where I think one screw up, coaching staff's likely to pivot away from them. We kind of saw that with Carson Steele last week. Like, I want to see it from Tyrone Tracy before I'm really comfortable putting him in my lineups, especially with a rookie.
That's where I'm at. I'm gonna put Wandale, like you said, for the we all agree that Wandale is your top choice to have in. He's gonna get the dirty volume. It's low A dot. It's not great. He does not play downfield. But you could also say the same for Xavier Leggett, and because he's a low A dot player, maybe he can go against the wind, and I'm willing to shoot for the fences. Thank you, Q School. Next, we got Heidi Williams. Great show. Thank you, Heidi. PPR, need two. Worthy, Shaheed, Robinson Jr., Cooper, Hunt, Javante Williams, or Gibson. Jeff, pick two of these. I figure Brian Robinson Jr. is the top one here.
Yeah, I think Brian Robinson Jr. would be the top play out of there. I am going to go with Amari Cooper. I think going up against Washington over maybe Xavier Worthy until we see it a little bit more consistently with Worthy. I guess here I just said you want Worthy into your lineup, but this is a place where I'd still probably would play Cooper. And you're kind of leaning into playing Robinson Jr. already. You're kind of investing in that Browns Commanders game, and so Cooper kind of goes with that as the bring back on the other side.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that. Next, we got Jim Skelnick. Hello, Jim. Standard League. Need two. Deontay Johnson, Dontavian Wicks, Josh Downs, Brian Thomas Jr., and Wandale Robinson. Standard League. Need two running backs. We'll come to the running backs later. Jeff, we'll go to you for the wide receivers, and then we'll give you the running backs, Adam. Pick two wide receivers. Since it's PPR, or since it's not PPR, I think Wandale's off the menu there. Jeff?
Oh, I thought you were going to Adam. Sorry, I misunderstood your phrasing there. So no, Deontay Johnson, I think is as much as I'm contradicting myself all morning here, but as much as I said I was worried about that Carolina passing game and the weather, I think Deontay Johnson has shown himself to be a tier above these other players. So you want that in your lineup until you don't. I still go Dontavian Wicks here as my other play. I think probably I hesitate to say comfortably, but I think Wicks going up against the Rams defense that before the Bears game last week had saw everybody was taking advantage of the Rams defense. I think that having Romeo Dubs out of there as well kind of really solidifies targets to Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks, and I want those two players pretty highly up in my ranks.
Yeah. And I mean, the Rams D is allowing the most yards per play at 8.1. And I mean, what's crazy is they're generating pressure, but there's absolutely zero happening in that secondary. Adam, we'll kick over to you. It's also a standard league, and he needs two running backs: James Conner, Javante Williams, and Chase Brown.
I think James Conner's the definite answer here. Kind of set it and forget it. I might go off our football guys ranks a little bit. We have Javante Williams rated pretty high on the site right now. Chase Brown's been getting more work. I'm just not confident in Javante Williams. He hasn't given us much this year. He's kind of shared the backfield and then taken the majority of the work. It's just I think there's a decent likelihood that you could get minimal points from Javante Williams from what we've seen. So I'm going to go for a little more upside and go to Chase Brown.
Yeah. Jagger and I were talking a little bit pre-show about what you're seeing with some of the divide between good offenses and bad offenses. And I think the floor has just been annihilated for what we expected for fantasy for, Jag, you kind of mentioned a standard of quarterback play. The floor of offenses is gone this year, it feels like. And that's where I think if you've got an option like Chase Brown, that ceiling is so much higher with a Joe Burrow offense than what you're dealing with a Bo Nix offense with Javante Williams.
Yep. Yeah, Bo Nix is in all the bad categories. He has the second lowest yards per attempt at 4.8. That's just not an offense that's going to give you high leverage touches for your running back. Even Chase Brown's minimal options gives you a little bit more upside. Next, we'll go to Joey Wright on the bench today. Starter sit, best food coming off sickness, saltine crackers or applesauce. Miss you guys today, watching in bed with my daughter, Tristan. Hi, Tristan. I'm going to go... I hate both of these for sick foods, so I'm gonna go applesauce. What about you, Adam? You're the doctor. What do you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm upset that Joey's avatar is not a Muppet. We made a big deal about Muppets last week, and he has the audacity to come on the show without a Muppet avatar. So I still haven't gotten over that. I'm probably gonna go with saltine crackers though, Joey. I hope you feel better.
What about you, Jeff?
Isn't the brat diet? You want bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. I think is what I've always been told.
It's very specific. We all have grandmas that tell us things. Annie, welcome in. overthinking this one, Kyler at San Francisco or Geno at the New York Giants. I don't think you're overthinking that at all. Geno's second in passing yards, and they're throwing a lot. Jeff, we'll go to you. Which one do you want here?
I'm still here with Kyler, I think,
Mhm.
over Geno. But I get it. And a little bit of revenge factor for Geno going up against a former team, the New York Giants. But I know we saw the floor last week, and I think we were all burnt by Kyler going up against a matchup that we all wanted to see with Washington. I'm still ranking Kyler above Geno Smith this week.
Yep, that's what it is with boom bust players. Luca Trunzo, that's a fun name. Good morning, guys. I look forward to your show every Sunday. Thank you, Luca. I look forward to you. I'm debating between Flacco and Fields, and then Chuba and Kenny Walker. I'll go to you for the quarterbacks, Adam. Flacco or Fields?
It's Fields, and it's not even close. That rushing upside's there for Justin Fields. He looks comfortable in that Pittsburgh offense.
Yeah, he's actually 8th in the NFL in completion percentage, which is something that we wouldn't have said the first 3 years. And then going to you, Jeff, Chuba or Kenneth Walker?
Kenneth Walker for me. I think Kenneth Walker is the top 5 play this week against the Giants after what we saw on Monday night. I don't know. Adam, do you think that he's going to be scaled back at all after a short week with that injury, or do you think we get full workload for Kenneth Walker?
No. I mean, the moves we saw him making in that Monday night game, he looks healthy. He's been a guy, filtering out just how people perform for injury versus non-injury. Kenneth Walker is one of the best players at playing through an injury in terms of fantasy production versus expected. He's a freak. He's a beast. Yeah, we're playing Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, and after rough matchups, he's still 6th highest yards per carry at 5.7. Do you play him if he's healthy? Andrew Goodman, hope you're having a better morning than Aaron Rodgers. Oof, man, it is rough. I just saw Aaron Rodgers is right now with the iPad with Alan Lazard. So Garrett Wilson, folks, we're down bad. Andrew Goodman back again. Bye week blues at running back. Should I start Kareem Hunt, Tyrone Tracy, or Antonio Gibson in half PPR? Jeff, who do you like?
Kareem Hunt here. I think I want a piece of that Chiefs offense relative to some of these other matchups. And again, you're talking about playing with Patrick Mahomes in a Chiefs offense or playing not in a Patrick Mahomes offense with the other two players. So
it's like we were saying. Do you want to back up on a good team or a backup on a bad team? That's those are your options here. I'm sorry, dude. Bye weeks are rough. I'm dealing with it too. Shout out to David Montgomery. Christopher Newby, can you both be the dude? Me thinks yes. Full PPR. Pick two flex. Achan, Tank Dell, Trey Tucker, and Javonte Williams. Gotta love bye weeks and injuries. Adam, will go to you. He needs 2 there.
I'm definitely going A-Chain. I know it was ugly last week, but I'm going to still go back to that. Well, we saw enough the first couple weeks. And then I'm torn. And I think in a PPR league, I'm going to go Tank Dell over Javonte Williams.
What about you, Jeff? What do you like? This is a toughie.
I think that Tucker gives you a little bit more upside maybe than Javonte, maybe. But I probably would still take Tank Dell. I think over there, you just talking about potential for explosion against, even if the Bills have been a difficult matchup for wide receivers, Dell still has it every week playing with CJ Stroud. But Devin Achane, I know we were all disappointed after Monday night, but like this, he doesn't belong in the question with these players. So you're still playing him even with the disappointments because as my friend Chris Harris always says, what can you sleep with better? And leaving Devin Achane out of your lineup for Javonte Williams or Trey Tucker, I'm not sleeping at night if that happens.
Yeah, and really fun stat, and I don't know how long it's going to stick. Would you believe that Devon Achane has the 6th lowest yards per carry at 3.1? That's like
I would believe it because he was very good for part of last year and not very good for the other part of last year, and we just ignored the part of the year where he wasn't very good.
Yeah, boom bust players, guys. You gotta love it. Andrew Goodman back again. 2 wide receivers: Pickens, McLaurin, Brian Thomas Jr. or Wicks. Adam, we'll go to you.
This is tough because I know we're going to be pretty high on Wicks. I'm definitely playing Terry McLaurin. I'm probably going to lean Brian Thomas Jr. over Wicks. I've just really liked what I've seen from Brian Thomas Jr. this year. But those two are very close for me. Maybe Jeff can chime in and help me decide.
So I've got Wicks ranked above Brian Thomas Jr. Like I said, I really love that matchup. I think that with Dubs being out of that lineup, even concentrates targets even more. And we've seen more than enough willingness for Jordan Love to go to Wicks. And again, this I would rather play the player with Jordan Love than I would rather play the player with Trevor Lawrence right now.
Oof, that's rough hearing that out loud, but it's honest and true. Um, Huckleberry Pop Tart. Love the name, love the dog. Good morning. This is my dog's name. Thank you for telling me that. Thanks for the advice last week, but unfortunately, I have 6 starters on the bench now. Buys and injuries mean I have to play who's left. Love the show. Thank you. We're praying for you, and I love that your dog's name is Huckleberry Pop Tart. J.R. Wiggle, Pittman or Brian Thomas Jr.? Please, I need help. I'm going to take Pittman here for the floor. What about you, Jeff?
Pittman, same. And it's supposed to be raining during that game, too. So that might be another consideration with a little bit of a breeze.
Yep. Adam P. Good morning, football guys. Hi, Adam. Good to see you again. Joe Cool or Gino this week? He has his opponent has Metcalf, but I believe the Bengals and Ravens game is projected pretty high scoring. Need help. Thank you. Adam, we'll start with you.
I will probably lean Joe Burrow. Man, they're really close. I guess if your opponent has DK Metcalf, I'd be okay starting Geno Smith. You talked about how Geno Smith's throwing for a ton of yards, and you at least level out some of the DK Metcalf production that your opponent's getting by playing Geno Smith. So I'd be okay pivoting to Geno.
Yeah, I think either way, like I said, you have a good pivot. I lean Joe Burrow. The Baltimore defense is allowing the 5th most passing yards per game because they mainly roll out a bunch of safeties. And I mean, the Bengals defense is giving up a lot of yards too. And you are correct, Adam. This is one of the highest game scripts today with 48.5-point spread, according this morning to Vegas. Ben Forstner, Tyrone, or JSN, half PPR, Jeff?
JSN. I think you're going to play JSN. It's just an upside argument. And I really worry about, we talk a lot about how much the Seahawks are throwing the ball. A lot of that's off last week against the Lions, because the week before when they played the Dolphins could get nothing working. I mean, Geno Smith, 13 PPR or 13 quarterback fantasy points that week. I think you could see a similar type of a game script, because I don't know if the Giants are going to get too much rolling, and you might have it similar to what the Giants Cowboys game was last week. And I think that might be the Giants game plan, is to try to draw the game out, keep it lower scoring. So as much as I like the potential matchup and I see what Geno Smith has done, I think situationally they played a big pass funnel last week against the Lions. That's kind of our last data point, because that was the last game of last week. And I don't know if I'm saying that the elite passing game is there for Seattle today.
Nice. Yeah, I'm with you there. Now we got our buddy Alan Moore. Shout out to Watchmen, or actually Swamp Thing. That's another thing Alan Moore wrote. Morning all. It's week 5 already. You're telling me Shaheed or Jerome Ford in my flex. Thanks in advance. This is a ceiling and floor question, and I'm gonna give it to Adam. Which one are you leaning?
Oh gosh, I'm probably gonna lean Ford. I want to say for floor. We've seen the ceiling with Shaheed. I get it. But you're praying for a big touchdown, and I don't like doing that. In most leagues. So if it's a standard redraft league where you're starting like 8 to 10 guys, I'm probably gonna lead Jerome Ford.
What about you, Jeff?
I lean Ford too. And yeah, like I said, when we talked about the Chiefs before, there's potential for shootout with the Saints, but it doesn't seem like any Chiefs game shootout. And that defense is very, very good. So as much as I want to play a ceiling game for the Saints, I think it might be closer to the floor game.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy that stuck out to me? How inefficient Jerome Ford has been. He still has he's like the 11th highest rushing EPA at 3.1. He's like not terrible. I think the Browns are, and then the Browns being objectively terrible makes all advanced stats kind of look bad. So remember that, guys. Stats are fun and easily manipulated. Going over to Mason Massey. Morning, Joey. Hope you feel better soon. We do as well. Need 3 in non-PPR out of DJ Moore, Ayuk, Brian Thomas Jr., and Rashid Shaheed. So we're benching one. Who are we rolling with? Who are we benching, Jeff?
I'm benching Shaheed.
Yep.
I think that just higher upside maybe for the other pieces. And as much we saw him get 8 targets last week, which was great. We saw him blank the week before, so that's kind of what you're talking about with Rashid Shaheed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he even had like 2 targets, and like one of them would have been a touchdown. But that's just the type of player he is. Big Mike, the Bears fan. Welcome back. Sermon, Madison, or Tank at full flex PPR, and then Sermon or Hunt RB2 and half PPR. I answer the first question. You should put Tank Dell in your flex right now. Adam, Sermon, or Hunt as RB2.
I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt. Kind of like what Jeff said earlier in the show. We want a piece of that Kansas City offense.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, would you put like Alexander Madison or Sermon over Tank Dell in the flex?
If I need upside, I would go Tank Dell. If I need a little bit of a safer play, I probably would lean Madison relative to we've seen Madison look decent this year. I don't know what that Colts backfield is going to look like without Jonathan Taylor, because that could be a committee. That could be Tyler Goodson could be really involved there. We just might be wrong on our read there.
Yeah. Running back is something I grossly did not understand or didn't read or whatever this season. Alan Moore, back again. I feel like Joey is sick because he didn't want to do the Muppet voices. We agree, and we called him out on it. And Saltines for the win. Nathan Malone, hello, Nate. Full PPR, JSN or Wandale? This is a fun question. Jeff, what do you think?
JSN for me. I like the offense that I think can move the ball versus the offense that I don't think can move the ball.
Yep, that's the theme of the show, guys. Who has a quarterback? This is what we're going to play all day long. Kincaid or Kraft? Okay, Tucker Kraft. I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm probably going to go Kincaid. Anyone disagree?
I've got Kraft ranked over Kincaid, to be honest.
Ooh.
Jeff, gasp. I need you to elaborate. I was going to move on quick, but like you just like the
Kraft is an every down player. I like the matchup against the Rams. I like Jordan Love rolling there. The Texans have been one of the very best against tight ends. You're not going to have Khalil Shakir in that matchup, so maybe that funnels a little bit more volume to Dalton Kincaid there. We just haven't seen Kincaid be as involved, as much as I hate to say it. We haven't seen Kincaid be as involved in the offense as much as Tucker Kraft has, and I think that ceiling is probably a little bit higher on Packers this week than the Bills.
That's fun. Maybe I should adjust my rankings. Fletcher Lens, Football Guys for the win. Thank you, Fletcher. Impossible. 0.5 PPR, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Flowers, Kirk, Pittman, JSN, Trey Tucker, Chuba, Eckler, Chase Brown. Adam.
I'm going to go with Michael Pittman Jr. We expect Joe Flacco to play. I think the receiving options in that situation benefit. And then I'm going to go back to JSN.
What about you, Jeff? Obviously, Pittman's a top choice here. What secondary? Do you got anything else other than JSN? Do you like him over Flowers?
I like Chuba over both, to be honest with you. In half PPR, I think you're going to look at volume with Chuba there, and that matchup could be difficult against the Bears, but I think Chuba's in line for quite a bit of volume this week.
I owe Chuba lots of apologies.
Chuba's a good player.
He's a good player. He was good at OSU. Michael Quincell, good morning, Jeff, Jagger, and Adam. Let's go team Zoinky and Pros with Joe's 5. Am I in Pros with Joe's?
Michael is my Pros with Joe's partner. So
okay, cool.
We are mounting a comeback. We're 2-2, hoping to go to 3-2 this week.
Hot dog. I got Wendy early, and thank God I got Wendy because I'm not doing so hot.
Michael's been fantastic.
Hannah, by the way, half PPR. Dowdle, Odunze, or Winnington. Adam, which one are you going with?
I'm probably going to go with Odunze in that situation. I just think he has the highest ceiling. Yeah, that's where I'm going to lean.
I agree, and like again, some fun stats, and like this is why you don't take one stat. Rome Odunze has the the eighth lowest catching rate over expected at negative 10.9, but he's also one of the highest deep targets, and he has all those high leverage touches. So I think a lot of that production is going to hit soon. It's like a ticking time bomb with Odunze, in my opinion. Jeff, you got any qualms with that?
I think Dowdle. I think Dowdle has moved ahead in the Dallas backfield, and I think that As much as they can't run the ball, I like his chances of scoring a touchdown a little bit better. I don't know. Dunze has disappeared when Keenan Allen's been active. Is my concern.
Mm-hmm. My only concern with the Cowboys is that they are passing at the highest rate, but like you said, at least like they have a quarterback. And I'm not saying Caleb isn't a quarterback, but Caleb is a rookie quarterback without an offensive line, which is kind of like not having a quarterback. Michael again, Scott Fishbowl need a QB and a super flex. Tucker and Leggett if Richardson is out. Also have Dalton. Play Dalton. Um, then if you need something else in your super flex, what do you like there, Adam? Tucker or Leggett? These are both kind of just high upside. Like, who do you think has the higher upside? I guess.
I'm probably gonna lean Leggett. I know people have gotten excited about Tucker, and we've seen flashes. I'm just staying away from Raiders in general. That seems like it's a really toxic situation. I don't know what you're gonna get from them on a week to week basis, so I would lean I'd lean Leggett.
What about you, Jeff?
I would play Leggett with Dalton to have that stack.
Yeah, that's what it's a plus EV move to do that. At Jeff, draft D Rob or Komet today. Let's talk about your
Komet over D Rob. Demarcus Robinson's been one of my biggest disappointments this year.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Young, non PPR, Tyreek Hill, Xavier Worthy, and Jacoby Myers. It's weird that we have to ask this now. We're in the worst timeline, folks. Jeff, which one you taking here?
Well, I mean, I like Worthy's chances to score a touchdown better than Tyreek Hill's, as much as I don't like saying that, but that's where we are.
Who has a quarterback? And I think by Adam's reaction, he would agree with that. Tiger uppercut, flex advice, Trey Tucker, Mostert and Joku, Jaleel, or drop one of them for Bo Melton. That's getting a little galaxy brain for me. Jeff, I don't want to answer this, so you have to.
If there's any sort of premium, I might lean in Joku.
Let me say this about Njoku coming off the high ankle sprain. So looking at tight ends that come off of that type of injury, we see like a 13% reduction in fantasy points. Where he's been, he's currently our Football Guys tight end consensus 20. I could maybe see him being a little bit higher. I think he was lower than that because there was uncertainty that he was going to play this week. So I see him in the tier of like right after Pat Freiermuth, right after Tucker Kraft, kind of like Zach Ertz range.
And I really like him for with the entire Browns offense is that they need something else to draw attention, and it can open things up a little bit. So I lean into I think Njoku's the floor play here, and then Trey Tucker's the ceiling play.
Yeah.
But I lean Njoku a little bit because, like Adam said, like the Raiders are just one of the worst ran organizations of all time. John McQuaig, morning y'all. Flex advice for PPR league: Kraft, Jacoby, or Tank Dell. I lean Tank Dell. Adam, what about you?
Yeah, I would probably rank them Tank Dell, Tucker Kraft, Jacoby in that situation.
Cool. Armando Zepeda Jr. What's up, fellas? Half PPR. Olave, Higgins, or Deontay Johnson? You did great, kid. Jeff, I'll let you have first crack at this one.
I still got Deontay Johnson ranked there. I am concerned about the matchup, but from what we've seen the last 2 weeks, I just can't put Deontay Johnson on the bench.
I agree with that, and I love Olave. I don't love Derek Carr, and the Chiefs' defense is a buzzsaw. And
so Jagger, he was doubtful. We expected him not to play, but Anthony Richardson has been officially ruled out.
He is out. Will's up, guys. Michael Pittman, he's back.
And Josh Downs.
Evan Ingram or Christian Watson are brothers with the same hamstrings. I agree with that. Should I start Pittman or Brian Thomas Jr.? Pittman. Jack Pfeiffer for QB, Lawrence or Flacco. For flex, Brian Thomas Jr., Olave, or JSN. Jeff, I'll give you the QBs, Lawrence or Flacco.
I think I'm going to rank Flacco over Trevor Lawrence, as much as weird as that sounds, but we've just seen Flacco's willingness to sling the ball, and they have talent over there.
Yep. And Lawrence's floor is doo-doo. Adam, wide receivers, Brian Thomas Jr., Olave, or JSN?
I'm going Olave in that situation.
Olave. I don't hate it at all. Pittman or BTJ, already got that one. Mostert, Benson, or Goodson. Oof.
Whew.
Yeah.
This is yeah.
This is rough. I'll take first crack at this one. Is Goodson gonna be like the guy, or like Benson gets touches, but how meaningful are they are? I actually I lean Benson for floor because at least I know he gets touches. Jeff, what about you?
In PPR, I would play Goodson. I think it like his chances to catch the ball a little bit better. Boy, this is where we are. This is week 5.
Week 5, first round of bye weeks. You gotta love it. Justin Wheat in all caps. Need help. HN or Wicks at flex. I got Wicks off the waiver earlier before Dubs was out. Good for you. I lean Wicks here. Adam, what about you?
I'm still going HN. I'm not going to let 1 week kind of turn me off. And I tend to play running backs in this situation. We like Dontavian Wicks. I think we're going to see him in a lot of lineups, but that would be one where I would just lean the running back.
Mm-hmm. Straight Zesty. I love the name Zesty. Good morning, guys. Ayuk or Downs? Man, darkest timeline. I'm still gonna put Ayuk in my lineup. I don't know about you fellas. What about you, Jeff?
What can you sleep with at night? And Brandon Ayuk is what I can sleep with at night.
Yep. I'm not gonna tell you to bench Ayuk. Sorry, guys. Andrea Stislawski, one of the best drafters around, according to Joey Wright. I tend to agree because Joey knows what he's talking about. Good morning, everyone. Tyson Bowers, standard. Tracy or Amari Cooper? I'm going to put Amari Cooper in my lineup. Anyone disagree here?
Nope.
Okay. Justine Garcia, Superflex, half PPR. Play Kyler, Hunt, or Sermon. You're gonna play Kyler. You're gonna play Kyler there. Andrea back, Pickens or Wicks PPR. This is a fun question. Jeff, where are you at?
Wicks for me in PPR. I do think it might rain tonight in that game against Dallas, and I think that in general Pittsburgh would want to play a little bit more of a grinded out game against the Cowboys.
No. Mike D, Moss or Akers, half PPR. Leon Coleman or Jawan Jennings, full PPR. I'm gonna put Jennings in on the second one. Moss or Akers for you, Adam?
I'm pretty much never going to put Cam Akers in my lineup, so I would go Zach Moss in that situation. I'm just being honest. I'd have to be down really, really bad to play Cam Akers.
Our boy Zade, he says like every time you want to put like another backup in for the Texans, you're gonna get a Bunga Waleed. That's who you want in your lineup. And I think Akers is fighting an injury, is he not?
No, he's not. He's not dealing, at least not from what I've seen. It's just, we talk about running backs coming off of Achilles injuries. He's really coming off back-to-back Achilles injuries. So you worry about a lot of the explosiveness. I don't think he's had a lot, Cam Akers, when we're talking about him this season. I mean, we saw how good Joe Mixon looked in that Houston offense. Now, obviously, Cam Akers is not Joe Mixon, but can we see a fraction of that? We've just seen no life from Cam Akers. Whatever the first week Joe Mixon was out, I can't remember if it was week 2 or week 3. Cam Akers' week was salvaged by falling in the end zone from like a 1-yard run. If he didn't have that, he would probably scored like 2 or 3 points in PPR leagues. So, yeah, I'm not playing Cam Akers.
And if you're wondering why that offense is slowed down, it's designed completely by the play action. Going to JR Wiggle. Hello, Mr. Wiggle. That's an interesting picture. Pittman or Brian Thomas Jr.? Pittman. Thank you for loving the show. We love you. Khalil Segal. Good morning, bros. Need help on my wide receiver flex. Debo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Wan'Dale Robinson. Drop one. Appreciated your help and thumbs up. You're going to drop Wan'Dale Robinson. I think that's a question. That's like, yeah.
If he's dropping somebody, you are not dropping Debo Samuel or Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, don't do that. Wan'Dale is a person. So, River 74. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to hop in. I mean, it doesn't change too much. Jeff Wilson Jr. has been officially ruled out. I know we had some Raheem Mostert questions, so that backfield gets a little bit consolidated with Raheem Mostert, Jalen Wright, and Devon all active, but Jeff Wilson Jr. is inactive today.
Thank you, Adam Shefty. River 74 times. Morning, guys. Start one start one between Tyreek Hill, Keon Coleman, or Adunze. Thank you. Where you at, Jeff?
I can sleep a lot better at night with starting Tyreek Hill over Keon Coleman and Roma Dunze.
I don't know if I'm there. I think I'd put Adunze in, but I'm a risk it for the biscuit type guy. So, good luck, man. That's
The problem, we just haven't seen, other than that Colts game, haven't seen any volume from the Bears passing attack. And so if you're talking about needing a player to just break a play, I like Tyreek Hill's ability to just break a play relative to some of the other options.
I'm not arguing hard at all. Like I said Odunze with zero conviction. That's where we're at now.
Yeah, idea of Adunze has been better than the reality of Adunze so far. So
well, let me live within my own reality. Wandale versus Kittle versus Tyreek. It is Kittle for your wide receiver tight end slot. Unless you think Tyreek at this point, Jeff, I'll give you a chance to refute.
No, I'm going to play Kittle here. I'm definitely concerned about the ribs, like Adam mentioned, but I'm going to go with Kittle. And Aaron Rodgers is down, and Sauce Gardner has already left the game.
So the Jets
and I don't think we talked about it, but they ruled Aaron Jones out with a hip injury in this game. So, I mean, it doesn't really help you this week, but Ty Chandler should be like the top waiver wire target, depending on how these games come out the rest of Sunday. But it sounds like Aaron Jones might miss some time.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've got this game on or not, Adam, but Rodgers went down, landed on his, like, kind of really got twisted up on his knee, and he's grabbing his knee, his left knee.
I do not have it on, but I will. I would get on X and Twitter here and see if we got anything. If I have any thoughts, I'll hop in here a little bit later.
He is walking off the field now, but
hot dog. Thank God that we have Adam Hutchison. We get live reactions, folks. Deshaun Watson or Mahomes to start? I hate how accurate and valid of a question this is. Adam, I'm going to make you answer this one first, and then we'll all, bloody.
I'm playing Patrick Mahomes. I don't have a whole lot to say, but I mean, Deshaun Watson last week was okay. He had that big touchdown called back, which would have made his day better. But prior to that, he's been pretty poopy, for lack of a better term. So I'm just going to play Mahomes.
You're going to play Mahomes as well?
Yeah, I mean, for as much as upset we are with Mahomes and frustrated, we're one vintage Patrick Mahomes game, 350-yard, 4-touchdown game away from thinking that he's back to being elite again. So, yeah, I'm gonna. If it were maybe a playoff game, we had a whole season of Patrick Mahomes being quarterback 15, then I would think about it. In week 5, I'm gonna play Patrick Mahomes.
I agree. Even though a lot of his peripherals are like not good for fantasy, but the tape is he's still Patrick Mahomes. I don't know what to tell you. He's throwing the deep ball at the lowest rate at 4.1%, has the lowest air yards per attempt at 5.1, and the second lowest completion percentage under pressure at 35.7%. Andrea, back Kyler Murray or Jaden Daniels? I'm going to play Jaden Daniels here. What about you, Jeff?
Definitely Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels has a high CPA. He's just topped Josh Allen, and that entire offense has a high CPA. Ivan Zlatev, someone dropped Kelsey and I picked him up. Good for you. Now I have Kelsey and Trey McBride and don't know who to start. With the injury, Adam, are you going to play Kelsey over McBride because you have that safe player?
Yes, I am. So we talked about that show. I didn't expect someone to have that situation, but here we go. There was 5 tight ends I talked about that I would play over Trey McBride, and Travis Kelce is one of them. So I'm playing Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm. Geno or Deshaun? Geno Smith, 3 up, 3 down. That is Dave Kluge's article. I don't know if you're a huge fan or if that's just coincidence. Brees killing me today. Yep, the entire Jets are. Full PPR. Start 3, taking into consideration weather. Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Brian Thomas Jr., Brandon Ayuk. Pick 3. Also have Kraft with no Watson or Dubs or Kincaid. So, Jeff, you have a lot of players. He needs you to pick 3 of them.
Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, and I have Ayuk ranked above Brian Thomas Jr. I might regret that, but
I agree.
That's where you land right now. And then also, like I said, I have Tucker Kraft ranked above Dalton Kincaid this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I would play Ayuk over Thomas. Like I know that it's going to be slow with Ayuk because he hasn't been at camp. He doesn't suck, guys. You just need to practice with your players to have chemistry. So
Aaron Rodgers
early
is back in the game, so maybe he
what?
was being a little bit dramatic because he's Aaron Rodgers, but he is
No
back.
way. Aaron Rodgers dramatic. Early bird 78. Bo, Rome, Tank, Ford, Gibson, or Emmanuel Wilson. He needs 3. So who you bitching there, Adam?
I am probably going to bench. Need well, you need 3. I'd
So you're
probably
benching two,
play. Yeah,
4.
I'd
Yeah.
probably play Tank Dell, Jerome Ford. I was high on Roma Dunze, and then Jeff totally sandbagged me by getting all over the Bears passing game. So he's talked me off of that. I might pivot to Bo Milton, and maybe I'm getting too galaxy brain there, but with no Romeo Dobbs and no Christian Watson, I could be talked to him into Bo Milton in that situation.
I'm taking Rome, Tank, or Ford. Jeff, what is your 3?
I think it's important to note on a player like Bo Melton, you're hoping for one play. You're hoping for one play, whereas like a Roma Dunze, you're hoping for heavy involvement in the offense. I don't think that it's realistic to see a heavy involvement game from Bo Milton. I think you just have to say maybe he can get one, whereas we could see a game where Roma Dunze gets 10 targets. And so that I think you kind of have to look at range of outcomes when you're making some of these choices.
Mm-hmm. Timothy Brandenstein, final flex and full PPR. Emmanuel Wilson or Trey Tucker? I'm going to go Trey Tucker here. What about you, Jeff?
Trey Tucker in full PPR. Again, this is one that you're hoping for as much volume as we've seen from Wilson. You're hoping for a play there, whereas Trey Tucker's been more involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's like, especially in, I have him in like a couple of best ball leagues, dynasty league, dynasty best ball, and he's been great. Like all it takes is one play in best ball. Tyson Bowers, Prescott or Fields, Prescott or Geno. I think I'm not crazy for putting Fields here. I know
Nope,
our boy
Fields is
Z
who I've
says
got.
Fields. Yeah. Hi, Rachel. I miss Joey. Well, thanks. I'm here. Okay. Hi,
We still love
Rachel.
you, Rachel, even if you
Yeah.
don't miss us.
Yeah. Flex, Dontavian Wicks or Wandale Robinson. I'm going to put Wicks in. What about you, Adam?
Agreed.
Jeff, you agree? Yeah.
Yep.
Citron Physics, welcome back. Flacco versus Daniel Jones. You already know the answer to that. In your heart, it is Joe Flacco. Malik Neighbors is that offense. Jack Pascal, welcome back, Jack. Good morning, guys. Who would you not play from the following players? Full PPR. Amari Cooper, Jerome Ford, Wando Robinson, Najee Harris, Dontavian Wicks, and James Conner. John Connor is from the Terminator. I
Also
would.
from the Jets, like a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
He's
a
a
deep cut.
fullback.
Only Jeff would know. Najee Harris is who I would bench. What about you, Jeff?
I would play Najee over Wandale Robinson.
Ooh, spicy.
That's, to be honest, it's not. It's like they're the same player but different positions. If you really think about it,
Yeah.
do you want somebody to slam into a defense?
Well, and Warren's
points?
out and Cordero Patterson's out. I don't know if Aaron Shampkin is really going to get reps. And so you might be looking at a game where maybe it's raining and they're just grinding Najee Harris against a Dallas defense that has been exploited by the run game this year.
Yep. We got Jeff here for 11 more minutes. Then we're going to yeet him. And then it's just me and Adam. Demetrios, I need upside. Win against Cousins. Who do I start in my flex? Antonio Gibson, Tyrone Tracy Jr. Full PPR. Well, that's a rough place to look for upside. Adam, where are you looking for it?
If we're talking strictly upside, I would probably go Antonio Gibson. He's slated to get the start this week. I don't know how much of the actual workload is he going to get. Is that just like a slap on the wrist for Ramondre Stevenson since he had some fumbling problems? But he is going to get the start. And we've seen some big explosive plays from Antonio Gibson, especially receiving the ball out of the backfield. So PPR, I just don't know what I'm going to get out of Tyrone Tracy. So if I'm going upside, I'm going to go Antonio Gibson.
I would agree with that. And Gibson has had upside when he's gotten touches. So it's like, at least you know that he's going to get the ball, whereas this could be an Eric Gray day. What about you, Jeff? You agree with that?
Full PPR for upside. I'm going to go Tyron Tracy, thinking that maybe you get a game script where the Giants are trailing Seattle. Tracy is just catching a ton of passes out of the backfield. I think when you're just talking upside, you have to play Ramondre Stevenson into the equation relative to, as much as Eric Gray might get some snaps, I think that you could see that Giants, if I'm making the upside argument, the Giants trailing all game long, leaving Tracy out there and him catching a bunch of dump downs in full PPR.
Yep. Love or Geno? Q School. Jeff, where you at with this?
Love is a top 5 play for me this week. I love the matchup against the Rams. Geno's definitely not a top 5 quarterback play.
Yeah, Love he's got the juicy matchup. You start your passing offenses against the Rams. Darren Blanton, good morning, fellas. Good morning, Darren. Pickens or Josh Downs with Flacco starting? I still think I'd put Pickens in. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I really like Josh Downs this week with Flacco playing. And I know Pickens is rated higher and he's the better player, but if we're talking about just from a pure passing volume, I think you could see a healthy dose of Josh Downs. So it's close for me.
Mr. Scampers, good morning, fellas. Feel better at Joey Blackheart. Joey, I hope you feel better soon because everyone loves you. McBride or Parkinson? I'll give this to you, Adam. Like, do you like Colby Parkinson enough to put him over McBride with some messed up ribs? I don't think so.
No. He's a little bit too far down there. I think that's getting too cute. That I would go with Trey McBride.
And Ivan, Kelsey, or McBride. I think we answered this. Kelsey, James Swanson.
Garrett Wilson's up to 9 catches for 66 yards. So.
Is he?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is breaking.
They're down. They are threatening. They are down in the red zone now. The Jets have had a drive that I think has gone the entire third quarter, but
my heart needed that. James Swanson, good morning, all. Biggest question of the day: Eric All or Isaiah Likely? Is it? I'm gonna put in Likely. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, still Likely. Man, Eric All is getting there. If I see something that Gesicki were to miss or something like that, then I would slam to Eric All. But right now, it's still Likely with a higher upside.
Iowa tight ends, baby. Rich T, 2 out of 5 half PPR. Brian Thomas, Stephon Diggs, Trey Sermon, Achane, and Stevenson. I'm gonna play Diggs for sure, and Achane, I think. What about you, Adam?
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna pick.
I'm saying Diggs and Brian Thomas, I think, over Achane.
I don't hate that.
Just upside, I think, is a little bit more there for Brian Thomas.
They do have a good matchup as well, and you hope that they don't suck that bad, but who knows? Chris SB, QB troubles, fellas. Hate to hear it. Who has the best catch-up today? Or matchup is what you mean. Stafford, Flacco, Watson, Dalton, or Lawrence? I think I'm playing Dalton out of all these. What about you, Jeff?
Watson for me going up against Washington, a defense that has been exploited up until last week. And Deshaun Watson did look a little bit better last week.
Big Birds. I love the shake, Avi. Half PPR. Jordan Love with the Reed stack or Justin Fields? You're going to play Jordan Love with the Reed stack plus EV move. Victor Blanco, full PPR. Got Ayuk, London, Reed, Worthy on my bench. I'm going to play Reed pretty easily, I think.
Yes.
Adam, would you agree?
Reed is a top 12 wide receiver for me this week.
Yeah.
London, if you can retroactively, if you can put Drake London in your lineup, put Drake London in your lineup. But
that would be the real move. That would be an impressive move. That would be a high IQ move. Yes.
No, it's called the Tuesday switch, and it's one of the best rules that we have. Dave Kluge brought it in, and we do it in a couple of leagues that we're in. It's called the Tuesday switch. You can make one change to your roster on after the completion of Monday games. It's fantastic. It's really fun.
Yeah, one of my favorite leagues is an Empire League that's Pokemon themed, and it's scaled to where you should never rebuild, and you need to earn badges, and your badges give you abilities like making switches like that. So
yeah, and it's cool too because if you play like that, it changes how you build your bench a little bit. The like locked in handcuff type things, you'll grab like a wide receiver that could pop off for a touchdown over some of those. Like it's surprising how that one little change just changes strategy throughout the entire league.
Yep. Come to the Dynasty show in the off season. I've got some fun things we're going to talk about.
We might have to do a whole episode of just weird stuff that we like.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. We got Jeff for 5 more minutes, so we will lightning round. Victor Blanco again. Yeah, you want to play your stacks again? I got a question the London thing because he already played there, but like if you already got Tucker in, then you might want to diversify with Ayuk or something like that. But I don't know, Jeff. You got?
I know the hesitation, but again, this is a plus matchup with the Rams. And doing the DFS show, when I built my initial DFS lineup, I had to go back because I had Reed, Wicks, and Tucker all in my first cut of my DFS lineup, and I have 3 Packers in here, and I had to change something. But I love those 3 options, and especially with Romeo Doubs out of the game.
Yep. I don't hate it at all. Like I especially against the Rams, I think it's like fire on all cylinders against this team. Juan Pena Jr., you look like a baseball player. Who for my wide receiver 1 and 2, RB 1 and 2, and flat? You want me to set your whole lineup, buddy?
We're getting punchy jag now. Here we go. An hour in is out. 56 minutes in is when punchy jag shows up.
Yeah. I'll take the wide receivers because it's pretty easy. You want DJ Moore and probably Tank Dell. That's like the least ugliest option. And then for 2 running backs, Jeff picked 2.
Definitely Ken Walker and Kyron Williams. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and forgot to put Brees.
Bench Brees if you can bench Brees, go ahead and bench him. So
yeah, it's Jover for this week, guys. So you need to pick a flex there, Adam. Out of Calvin Ridley, Wandale, Jacoby, Jerome Ford.
Can I pick Josh Jacobs or no?
Yeah, you can't pick Josh Jacobs. Yeah,
I'd pick Josh Jacobs.
That's fair.
Brees Hall broke a 10-yard run out of the corner of my eye, and I got so excited. And then I realized this is Brees Hall breaking a 10-yard run, and what are we doing? He's got 17 yards.
Mark Andrews or Tucker Kraft PPR? Tucker Kraft, and that feels sad to say. Gilbert Carrasco, good morning, guys. I have Jaden Reed and Stephon Diggs. Good for you. Pick a flex to start. You're going to pick Wicks over Tyreek Hill and Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yep.
Robin Rosier's standard league, got to bench 1. Brian Robinson, Tyreek Hill, Wicks, or Sermon. Again, you guys are giving me an easy one. We're benching Sermon. You don't want to bench Tyreek for Trey Sermon, guys. You want to live with yourself. Patrick Hodgins, Dowdle, Madison, Moss, full PPR. Jeff, who you taking? Last question for you.
I'm gonna play Zach Moss. I think there's just a little bit more upside there relative to a couple of the other options.
All right. Well, it is almost noon, guys, and that means that Jeff Bell goes and becomes a dad for the day. Jeff, you got anything for him before we let you go?
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Let's go out there. Let's get that win. Do our best this week, and you know we're here for you. We'll be here afterwards, and we're here before. And Football Guys is always here. So,
the usual from Jeff. Love you guys. You love you, Jeff. We're gonna yeet you. Have a good day. All right. Well, Adam. We're just going to roll like that. You're going to be we're going to roll like that for a little bit. Ignore the empty space, guys. Again, Joey's sick, so send him your prayers. And me, while I'm dealing with this, taking into account the defense matchup, Moss or Madison, Michael Regine. Moss or Madison, I think I'm going to take Moss here because he has a better offense. Adam, do you agree?
Yep.
Cool. Brothers over everything. Brian Thomas Jr., Wicks, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Worthy, Higgins. What 3 do I start? I'm going to play Wicks, McLaurin, and Deontay Johnson. What about you?
Those are the 3 I'm taking.
Hot dog. And Adam, he's on injuries right now. He'll be on Twitter and he will break them live. I don't think anything's updated here. We still don't have anything on Trey McBride or Chris Olave or George Kittle. Like you said, George Kittle's probably just a vet sitting, and you probably are playing him regardless. Trey McBride's a cautious one, and we'll keep you updated as we get information. Expected to play again for those just joining us: David Njoku, Alvin Kamara. Those are two you want in your lineup. Odell Beckham Jr. Don't want him in your lineup. Deontay Johnson, definitely want him in your lineup. Austin Eckler, that is relative. Nick Lincoln, hello Nick. PPR, Lockett or Coleman for wide receiver 3? This is a tough question. Coleman has gotten a little bit more burn. Lockett is old, and we don't know if he's around. I think I'm going to play Coleman for upside at this point. What do you think, Adam?
I would pivot to Lockett, and this is purely recency bias. I mean, I watched a lot of that Monday night game, and he's still involved. He's still a safety valve for Geno Smith. So I like the safer play, and I would go with Tyler Lockett.
Okay. You got two options there. Like I said, that is, to me, it's a ceiling and a floor play. And I here
Sure.
I'd go for the ceiling. I would not hurt or hate you putting in Lockett. And again, not expected to play for those of you just joining us. Anthony Richardson, he's actually been ruled out. Taysom Hill was doubtful as well. Evan Ingram, I saw that he was trending towards out. Christian Watson, Devin Singletary, Damian Pierce. Move on. Michael again, and more Kittle. If you got Ferguson, I don't know, just play Kittle. I'd still play Kittle over Ferguson.
Yeah.
RCA, like the old company, and full PPR, we need to start one and cut one. Trey Sermon, Antonio Gibson, Chase Brown, Mostert, Emmanuel Wilson, and Braylon Allen. Well, Braylon Allen's already playing, so but you don't want to cut him. I think you're going to start Chase Brown here. What do you think, Adam?
I was torn between him and Trey Sermon. I know we've been a little bit lower on Trey Sermon, but like this is the tier where I definitely start considering him with these guys. I think Chase Brown does have a little bit higher ceiling. And then if I had to cut one, I mean, I'd be interested. I get Emmanuel Wilson, but it seems like Emmanuel Wilson's just been there because he's the guy that's left standing. Like, I don't know if he would be a factor at all if AJ Dillon or Marshawn Lloyd were healthy at this point. So I'm okay just sending Emmanuel Wilson back out to the waiver wire.
Yeah. He's the only dude. Like, he has a role right now, but it's like you said, he has a role because Marshawn Lloyd is the new Kendre Miller right now. But like, as far as everyone else here, Braylon Allen has his own role. Chase Brown does. Antonio Gibson, even before the fumbles, had his own role. So like, and that's how I think when I come to this, what guy is going to get touches regardless. And then you could play the game with like Jordan Masons of the world, is like, if this guy gets hurt, what does he get? But here it's all about who has like an actual position with the team. And same question. Yep. Luca Trunzo, welcome back. One more if y'all don't mind. Amari Cooper, Dell, or Kirk? I am foolishly going to pull out Tank Dell. Christian Kirk isn't real to me anymore. Do you like Amari Cooper better than Dell, or are you going to pull out Dell, Adam?
I do like Amari Cooper. And again, it stinks because the play didn't count, but Amari Cooper would have had a monster week last week if that like 80-yard touchdown didn't get called back for a holding. He's the number one target for Deshaun Watson, where, I mean, Kirk, it's really been him and Brian Thomas Jr. That's a little bit split. So I'm going to play Amari Cooper.
And Jeff's partner Michael's back. Ferguson will eat with Steelers hurting out linebacker. A-Rich is out now, everyone. Yeah, we did see that. I don't think they're hurting as bad as you think, and the Steelers are still have like the lowest yards per play. There's just a scary buzzsaw defense, but that's fair. I'm not saying don't start Ferguson. Tight end's bad, y'all. Like, if you could play Ferguson,
Sure.
you're gonna play Ferguson. So
yeah,
brothers over everything. Is it pay to get an answer? No, you just gotta wait, homie. Ivan Zotslav, we told you. Kelsey. Okay. I can also sleep with Ayuk at night, if you know what I mean, my sweeties. JB's.
You got to be worried about. You got to be worried. You got to be careful with her questions. Every time I see that picture come up, of Hillary Clinton with like the cornrows. I know that
Yeah,
she got Joey a couple times last year.
I know.
You can thank
JB's
Joey for
grandmama
that one.
got me. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm happy to see you back. I love the wild
Yes.
card. You caught me sleeping. Uh, FFPC need ranking, please. Lepke, Goodson, and Foreman. This is a bye week, injury stricken. I'm gonna put Goodson, Foreman, and Lepke. Chris Fraser, half PPR. Start 3, Brian Thomas, Higgins, James Cook, Madison. So we're gonna bench one of those. I'm gonna bench Madison. He's the only one who's like kind of not
Yeah.
good. He's just
Yep.
there. Then for QB, Caleb Williams or drop to stream T-Law or Flacco. This is the grass greener, Adam? I think I'd keep Caleb this week.
Yeah, I would, and I think I would keep Caleb just for the sense of what you're going to get later on in the season too, right? Like Joe Flacco is probably only playing this week. And I think if we're looking at a higher ceiling rest of season, I think we're at the point where Caleb Williams might have a higher ceiling moving forward.
Yeah. And this is what happens with rookies, guys. Like they don't all Jaden Daniels have an amazing run, but it doesn't always happen like that. So you just got to be a little bit patient. And with this matchup, it's a good one for Caleb. MJY147, Wandale or Tyreek standard scoring. Definitely said standard. It's Tyreek pretty easily. Yep. Who do you think can score a touchdown? Bryant Bailey, Wandale or Jerome Ford in the flex today. I think I'm going to still put out Jerome Ford. I love that matchup. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, this one's tough. I know Jeff wasn't high on Wandale. He got so many targets last week. He got so many, even with Malik Neighbors that, typically in this situation, we talk about a running back having a higher floor. I think the floor is there for Wandale Robinson to see 12 targets. So I would maybe go him, but it is definitely close.
Wandale Robinson has the 9th highest target rate at 32.2% in the NFL, but he has the 9th worst receiving EPA, but that's because he gets low A-dot targets. And Daniel Jones has the 9th worst completion rate at 63.2%. I just thought that was fun. We had 3 9s in a row. So yeah, if you really want hard targets, put in Wandale, but it's either or. They're almost the same player if you really think about it, like statistical output. Bruce Jacobson, Gibson or Stevenson, or Ayuk or McLaurin. I'm gonna put McLaurin in at wide receiver. Gibson or Stevenson. I guess you're gonna put in Gibson at this point because if I'm a Pats fan, but like I don't know if this is like you said, is it a hand slap or like you don't get to come out of the tunnel as a starter. I think Stevenson's still gonna have a role. So, what about you, Adam? What do you think?
I hate to confuse Bruce here. I might just leave Stevenson in. I mean, Antonio Gibson had a fumbling problem in Washington. I don't know if it's completely healed, but I don't know if it's completely fixed. But I mean, he's had his own issues with fumbles. Until I fully see New England just give all the work to Antonio Gibson, I think, quote unquote, Stevenson's still the starter. So I'm okay leaving him in.
Yep. Sleek, full PPR, Josh Downs or Cam Akers? Josh Downs. Akers is a never start for probably the both of us.
Yeah.
Michael Ryan, yo, what's up, y'all? Full PPR, Jacoby Myers or Chase Browns? Full PPR, I'm going to put in Myers. What about you? I know you've liked Chase Brown.
Yeah, I mean Myers in a full PPR, it's him and Bowers, so I feel comfortable playing Myers.
Yeah. Terminal sarcasm, PPR, Adunze or Pittman? I am going to play Pittman here pretty easily.
Yep.
Especially with Flacco in. Derek Just. Flex, full PPR, pick one, Ford, Downs, or Ayuk. I'm going to put Ayuk in at that point.
Yep.
Jamie McClendon, full PPR, Kirk, Downs, Higgins, Worthy. Need 3, so we're benching 1. I'm going to bench Kirk. What about you?
I think I'm going to bench Downs in that situation.
Uh-oh. I don't hate that. I mean, we only had 1 week of real production with them.
and Christian Kirk got off to a slow start, right? And that's definitely left a sour taste in a lot of fantasy managers, but he's been more involved the past couple of weeks. We drafted Christian Kirk a lot higher than we drafted Joshua Downs in our fantasy league. So it's still early. We got a small sample. We're only 4 weeks in. I'm gonna play with like my studs or the guys I drafted a little bit higher and play Christian Kirk.
Mm-hmm. Football guys, PPR dumpster dive. Come PPR dumpster diving with me. Michael Wilson, Curtis Samuel, or Juju. Michael Wilson by quite a bit. Curtis Samuel has one of the lowest ADOTs in the league and worse usage. Juju's just a bad player, and he's getting bad usage. Michael Wilson is the unquestioned wide receiver 2 for Arizona right now.
Yep.
Dylan, start Flacco or Lawrence? I hate that this is a question that is worth answering. Where are you at?
Oh, man. I don't want to get cute, but I'm gonna. I think with Jonathan Taylor out, I would go Joe Flacco. But if I'm wrong, Dylan, you have permission to yell at me on Twitter or in this chat next week.
One thing I've noticed, like, look at Andy Dalton and Joe Flacco. People forget that they played in the AFC North. These old guys in this new NFL are just slinging it, man. They're like,
Yeah,
it's like they used to basically
Sure.
hit me in the mouth and threaten me with a gun, and in the scrum, essentially in the
Yeah.
AFC North back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Heidi Williams, welcome back, Heidi. Def question. This is where I'm at to steal a win this week. I have the Browns. Do you see Jaguars or Patriots as better option? Is this a defensive question, not def question? Oh no, I'm not putting the Jaguars or the Pats in. I think you're gonna play the Browns. Like, you're not gonna get cute. Best pizza tour. Let me know what the best pizza is next week. What to expect from Trey McBride? I own 80% teams. Short benches. Will he play? We've had a lot of these questions. Adam, give him one more time.
Yeah, I think Trey, we still have not gotten official word, but it sounds like by all indications, Trey McBride is going to play. Now it's not official yet. And when it does come official, we'll make the announcement, but he's trending towards playing from everything that I've seen.
Brandon Earl, half PPR. Pick one, Keenan Allen or Jordan Winnington. I'm going to play Keenan Allen. What about you, Adam?
Yep, that's who I'm playing.
Sergio Solis, Brian Robinson, Hunt, Gibson, Sermon, Judy. Need 3 to start, so we're going to bench 2 of them. I'm going to bench Gibson and Sermon, I think.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the advice and all the people asking start sit questions to help me. You're welcome. Victor Blanco, there is a period, and I think you got to scroll down on the question. You started London. Surge the Shocker. B-Rob, Hunt, Gibson, Sermon. Oh, we got that one already. Prescott or Gino? I think I'm going to start. I think I'm going to start Gino here. I think the Packers are throwing us. I mean, the Dallas is just slinging it. Where are you at, Adam? Help me out here. Let's talk through this.
It is a bad matchup at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It's the same reason. I mean, he got hurt, so we got bailed out. But it's the same reason we were kind of off Anthony Richardson last week, and I don't think Prescott has nearly the rushing upside. So playing it safe at the quarterback position can sometimes be a good move. So I'd be okay playing Gino.
I agree with that. That is very rational. Uh-oh. JB's grandmama. Nope. Victor Blanco.
Dodge that one.
Yeah. Then, full PPR. McBride over Frymouth. Need 2 for my last wide receiver slot and flex. Achane, Deontay, and Jaden Reed or other tight end. Are you putting Achane over Deontay still?
I really think I would. I mean, I drafted Achane so high this year. Like, I'm not, and most likely people that picked him did as well. To Jeff's point, like, who can you sleep better at night? Like, I'm going to have a hard time taking Achane out of my lineups if he's healthy, regardless of who the quarterback is. So yeah, I think I am.
He's a true one-play player. Like, every player is one play, but like Najee Harris on a free run and Devon Achane on a free run, it's 2 different things.
Sure.
And then for the tight end, I'm going to play McBride over Fryermuth if he's healthy. R. Shaft, Cam, Roshan, Jaleel, pick 2, PPR 12 team. We are down bad. I'm going to play Roshan for
Yep.
sure. And now would you put Cam over Jaleel McLaughlin? Are we there yet?
And this is where now we can talk about Cam Akers, right? It's like this
Yeah.
is the level. I don't know. I think with Tyler Bidet out, I might go Jaleel McLaughlin.
Still? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a hater. I'm sorry,
I
Cam Akers.
respect it. I respect it. Like you're standing on business. He's like,
Yeah,
never. Sermon or Tracy Jr. I think we've had something similar. I lead Sermon. Is that where you're at too?
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick Lincoln back. PPR pick 3. Chuba, Brian Robinson Jr., Connor, Javante, Tracy Jr. Brian Robinson for sure. Chuba
Mm-hmm.
and Connor.
Mm-hmm.
I think you kind of
Yep.
almost ranked them pretty close.
Yep.
Boogie B, PPR. Oh, just Niners worldwide, full PPR. Achan or Moss, Packers or 49ers defense. Achan for sure. Like that's not even
Yep.
a question there. Packers or 49ers. I think I'm going to play the Packers because the Rams are beat up there and you could get a lot of sacks. They're just hurt right now and Arizona could explode. So Marcel Bruce, why Chase over Sermon? All training Sermon to have all possible options. Chase is number 2 against 2 best run D.
I mean,
it's like
it's a fair question. It is. I think we've seen more from Chase Brown this year, right?
Yeah.
He has a little bit, and he is trending up. We have not seen Trey Sermon. It's a long shot, but I mean, Tyler Goodson could be like the third down back that gets a lot of those high value touches in like a PPR league. So I think Chase Brown is safer, but I mean, Trey Sermon was a hot waiver wire target, so I get it.
Yeah, I mean, like you're chasing upside with Sermon, and then here's where we are, guys. We do this every year, almost weekly. These players who have had every opportunity to show themselves, most of the time don't get it done. Whereas Chase Brown has shown he can do a lot, and he has a better quarterback. So that's why we think that he is the safer option. That's not saying Sermon's not going to do anything, but that's just how the process works for me. And I'm assuming Adam's pretty close there as well. Like it
Yep.
literally is who's with the best QB, with the way offenses are working. Blizzard, welcome. Hey chat. Who would you prefer, JMO or Jonathan Brooks in Dynasty? Oh, I love that question. I'm still going to lean Jonathan Brooks right now, especially that Andy Dalton is back. Where are you at? You're going to take JMO still, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased, right? So like I'm the injury guy and I look at a lot of the injury data. Jameson Williams has come back from his ACL tear. He finally has a role in this Lions offense. He's seizing those opportunities with some big plays. We expect Jonathan Brooks, to be back and to be a valuable piece in dynasty leagues, but he wasn't activated off the PUP. I mean, this was the first week that he was eligible to do so. He was not. What do you get from Jonathan Brooks this year? And then you saw the flip side with what happened with Jameson Williams' dynasty value when he did not play to start his career. I mean, it totally tanked. You used a first-round rookie pick on Jameson Williams, and if you were trading him, you were getting 45 cents on the dollar in dynasty leagues. There's a question mark with Jonathan Brooks.
And that's fair. And like, I guess this season, like put too much stock in him coming back from an ACL, but it's crazy that he's not back already. And like Nick Chubb is the Terminator at this point,
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yep.
Wicks or DJ Moore full PPR. I think I'm still going to roll DJ Moore out. Or do you like Wicks enough to put him over DJ Moore?
Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. over
I'm sorry. I'm going with DJ. That wasn't clear. I'm going with DJ Moore over Wicks. I'm sorry.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Brian Thomas Jr. over Wandell. I agree with that. He has higher upside. And even if the Jags are bad, Brian Thomas Jr. has been pretty okay. Mr. Green, 0915. Start 3 at PPR. DJ Moore, Wicks, Ayuk, Olave, and Kirk. I'm going to start. Oof. You go first. I know I'm not starting Kirk. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I am playing Ayuk. I'm playing Olave. Um, I think, we just ranked DJ Moore ahead of Dontavian Wicks. If you're, depending on your matchup, if you really wanted to swing for the fences and like, hey, I need a high ceiling PPR play this week, I could understand playing Wicks in that situation, but I'm probably going to pick Ayuk, Olave, and DJ Moore.
Oscar O. Greetings from Mexico. PPR, Achan or Hunt. Hi from Mexico. It's Achan. Like we've
Mhm.
been pretty clear here. Curtis Samuel's going to start in the slot for injured Shakir for what it's worth. Somebody drop Mostert. Beautiful schedule from 8 to 12. Thoughts in his role, low RB2. That's hard to say because the offense is just bad right now, and Achan is the RB1 for sure. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, and I'll say this, we're talking about like from an injury perspective, like it's no secret that Raheem Mostert has struggled with injuries in his career. In terms of games missed versus expected, out of how many players I have ranked here for my running back database. Raheem Mostert ranks kind of in the middle at 46 overall in terms of games missed versus expected. What I mean by that is he misses more games than expected when dealing with injuries. So what's that going to do? It's going to open up the door for Jalen Wright to maybe steal that RB2 role. So I'm okay leaving Mostert on the waiver wire.
yeah, yeah, I am too. Like, and again, especially with Tua out, like it's I only want the studs on that team. Niners worldwide, Beatty. Either way, Heidi Williams, Gibson, uh, Javante Williams, I'm guessing. Justice Hill, good
Yeah.
too. I'm gonna play Justice Hill over all of them. And then I mean, how bad do you Javante Williams over or Gibson? Adam, where are you at? That's pretty bad at that point.
Yeah. Similar to Cam Akers, like I'm definitely holding it against Javante. Well, we just assumed 2 years after an ACL retear that these running backs are going to return to form. Javante Williams has been down bad. I really want to see it. I might go a little bit more upside and play Antonio Gibson this week and just, like I said, try to hit that ceiling outcome.
I don't hate that at all. Yeah, to be honest, that's where I'm at. Like, they're both offenses are pretty bad, but it's weird that arguably the Broncos have been worse. Joe Taco, Sutton or Downs? Downs. Parkinson or Komet? Adam.
Komet.
Komet. Yeah. Mighty Boosh. PPR, no tight end premium. Njoku or Piran? Njoku, I think.
Yeah.
Our Shaft Downs, Higgins, Whittington, Coleman. Pick 2, 12 team PPR. I'll pick one. I'm gonna play Downs. He's the one I feel most comfortable with. What about you,
Yep.
Adam?
And then I'll play Higgins.
Yeah, it's probably Sutton or Downs. We answered that one. Tucker Craft or Chris, or I'm assuming Chase Brown. Adam, I'll let you have this one.
Boom, boom, boom. In PPR with the wide receivers out, I mean it's not sexy playing a tight end in your flex, but I might play Tucker Craft in that role. Luke Musgrave was trending towards doubtful and not playing this week, so Tucker Craft could be the third guy in that second guy in that pecking order.
Luke Musgrave's carried an injury designation since high school. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I like Tucker Craft a lot, and this says from Adam, he's typically no tight ends in the flex type dude. Surge the shocker back. Should I bench Gibson or Sermon over Hunt and Judy? No, I don't think you should. I think you should keep the Hunt who's with Mahomes and
Mm-hmm.
Judy who's a starter in. Especially, I'm assuming PPR you especially want Judy in. Mighty Boosh. Darnold's looking like his old self. The London jet lag strikes again.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks. I hate. Yeah. It's. I wouldn't even take this game as like real. Like obviously it counts, but like these are always outlier, weird, fluky games because you're wanting players to have jet lag. Victor Blanco, Jordan Whittington, Bo Melton, or Michael Wilson. I'm also already starting Tutu in shambles. Sounds like you're down bad, buddy. Since you're starting Tutu, I would diversify with Michael Wilson because he has his own role in the offense without injuries.
Yeah.
Lewis, hey guys, full PPR, McBride or Kraft, Flex, ETN, Hunt, or Leggett. Pretty sure we've been McBride if he's healthy. Even with Kraft, are we still that way? So where are you at on this running back situation? ETN, Hunt, or Leggett? ETN still, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Not going to get too cute yet, guys.
Nope.
Irish, PPR, JSN, or Brian Thomas Jr.? Brian Thomas for me. What about you?
I'd go JSN.
You go JSN? Yeah, that's a good floor. JSN has been the player I thought he'd be, like a safe PPR floor. But that's all the questions we have right now. We have 5 more minutes. Yeah, we have 5 more minutes. See, guys, you don't have to get mad. We'll get to your question. It's just like in order. Like, love you guys. Till then, if you guys like this content, remember to always like, subscribe. Adam always writes our injury report over at footballguys.com/plans. I handle a lot of the prospect info. I'm working on that right now. Jeff writes in season. We had one more question pop in. Plum, apricot, or lingonberry jelly. Nick Dubs, thank you. It is plum for me. What about you?
I don't even know if I've had any of those.
Yeah,
I can't even answer.
You'll want plum. That's a good neutral flavor. Favorite movie snack? I love Sour Patch Kids, watermelon, and chocolate covered almonds. What about you?
I'm a classic guy. Popcorn, lots of butter.
Lots of butter. He likes that layered, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Love starting DSTs for overseas game. Have a league with punters. Thomas Morstead's Jets is raking in points. Mighty Boosh, next week, I want you to explain that punter format for me next time, how that works, because that sounds awesome on there. And that will do it, guys. We will end it right there. I'm Jagger. That's Adam. The empty square next to me is normally occupied by Jeff, but consider him a Harry Potter painting. He doesn't always be there. We will see you again next week, guys. Love you, and good luck this week.